Hi, good day. I'm Christian and today, we will talk about internet censorship. So internet censorship is a complex issue. On one hand, it allows for the control of harmful content, such as hate speech or illegal material. The passage mentions governments pressuring web hosts to take down defamatory or copyrighted content. This can help protect individuals and businesses from online harassment and intellectual property theft. However, censorship can also be used to silence dissent and restrict access to information. The passage talks about governments limiting access to websites and controlling search engine results. This can be dangerous, as it prevents citizens from forming informed opinions and holding their governments accountable. The passage rightly points out the concerning methods governments can employ to censor online content. It goes beyond simply taking down websites. By pressuring web hosts and controlling DNS servers, authorities can exert significant control over what information people see online. This toolbox of methods raises serious concerns about the potential for censorship to spiral out of control. Imagine a situation where a government starts by censoring hate speech and illegal content, goals most people would agree with. But what if they then expand their definition of hate speech to include criticism of the government, or restrict access to news outlets that report unflattering stories? This slippery slope is a real danger of internet censorship. Once governments have the tools and infrastructure in place to restrict certain content, it becomes much easier to justify censoring more and more. Lack of transparency. Who decides what content is off limits? Often, these decisions are made behind closed doors, with no public oversight. This lack of transparency makes it difficult to hold governments accountable for censorship that goes too far. Chilling effect. Even the threat of censorship can have a chilling effect on free speech. People may be discouraged from expressing dissenting views if they fear their online activity will be monitored or punished. So, what can be done to prevent censorship from spiraling out of control? Clear laws and oversight. There needs to be clear legislation outlining what kind of content can be censored and how this will be done. Independent bodies should oversee censorship efforts to ensure they are applied fairly and consistently. Promoting media literacy. Equipping citizens with the skills to critically evaluate information online is crucial. This can help people distinguish between fact and fiction and make informed decisions about the information they consume. So here's why this control over information is problematic. Suppression of dissent. Censorship can be a tool for governments to silence criticism. By restricting access to websites or viewpoints that challenge their authority, they control the narrative and prevent citizens from holding them accountable. This undermines the very foundation of a healthy democracy, where citizens need access to diverse information to make informed decisions. Limited perspective. Censorship can create an echo chamber effect, where people are only exposed to information that reinforces their existing beliefs. This hinders critical thinking and prevents individuals from forming well-rounded opinions. Misinformation spreads. Ironically, censorship can sometimes lead to the spread of misinformation. When people can't access reliable sources of information, they might turn to unofficial channels that spread rumors and falsehoods. And this is how we navigate these issues. Transparency and accountability. There needs to be greater transparency in how censorship decisions are made. Clear guidelines and independent oversight can help ensure that censorship is used sparingly and fairly. Promoting media literacy. Equipping citizens with the skills to critically evaluate information online is crucial. This allows them to discern fact from fiction, regardless of attempts to control information flow. Alternatives to censorship. Instead of blanket censorship, governments could explore alternative solutions. This could involve promoting media literacy initiatives, fact-checking services, and fostering a culture of open dialogue. China has the largest online population in the world, with over 721 million internet users, which depicts the top 10 countries in terms of number of internet users. However, internet censorship in China is perhaps the most rigorous in the world. The Chinese government blocks access to websites that discuss any of a long list of topics that are considered objectionable. Discussion on internet censorship in China. China's internet censorship, often referred to as the Great Firewall, is a complex and controversial issue. Here are some key points to consider for a discussion. Scope of censorship. China censors a wide range of topics, including political dissent, human rights issues, and certain religious figures. This restricts access to information and limits free expression. Impact on users. Limited access to information can hinder critical thinking and informed decision-making. Citizens may be unaware of important events or government actions. Government justifications. The Chinese government argues that censorship is necessary for maintaining social stability and national security. They may also point to concerns about misinformation and foreign influence. Self-censorship. Due to the potential consequences of posting critical content, many users practice self-censorship, avoiding sensitive topics altogether. Technological advancements. China uses sophisticated technology to monitor and block content. This makes it difficult for users to circumvent censorship measures. The passage highlights the contrasting situations of Brazil and Cuba regarding internet freedom and government censorship. Brazil. Easy content removal. Brazil's legal system allows for easy and inexpensive lawsuits to take down internet content. This empowers individuals to challenge content and potentially reveal anonymous sources. This ease of takedown can be stifling for journalists and bloggers who rely on anonymity for sources or fear lawsuits for critical content. Cuba. Limited internet access. Cuba has significantly lower internet penetration compared to Brazil. This limited access inherently restricts the ability for widespread online content or dissent to flourish. Government filtering. The Cuban government actively filters and blocks websites critical of the state. This direct censorship approach restricts access to information and controls the online narrative. Comparison. Similarities. Both countries have limitations on internet freedom. Brazil's legal system chills free speech, while Cuba's limited access and filtering directly control it. Differences. Brazil's approach is more subtle, leveraging the legal system to silence dissent. Cuba's approach is more direct, using technological filtering to restrict access to information.
To clarify, the subject matter we are discussing is purely for educational purposes and does not pertain to any personal issues. The content shared and discussed within our educational interactions is intended solely for academic or instructional use. It is important to maintain professionalism and focus on our educational objectives.